Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. It's another Wednesday. We are here and ready to work and do stuff. And I hope you're doing okay. I am happy to be here today. Again, my name is Betty. I'm so happy to be here. And just want to post this in my group. So, yes, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so glad you're here. If you're here today and it's your first time, hi, my name is Betty. I am an online business manager and a home care consultant. And I have been in the healthcare space for more than 16 years. And I just want to come here and also just give you my take on things and give you what I do, and then also give you ideas of how to streamline your business and streamline your operations. So I look forward to interacting with you. So if you have some questions, if you have things that you need to ask me, you're welcome to ask me. And as we go along, if I see any questions in the chat, I will answer. If I don't see any questions in time before I go off from my live, I will answer later and I will post the answers. So if you write the question on the chat, I will post the answers for you. Also, if you have not subscribed, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and, let's build each other up. Click the button also to give you notifications when I'm going live. I'll be going live on Wednesdays, and also on Saturdays, I'll be having another live happening. So on Wednesdays, it will be more business, more educational. And then on Saturday, it'll be more easygoing and on just focusing on your business on the faith side of things. Again, my name is Betty. I'm happy that you're here. So, like you see in our topic today, we are discussing patient-centered workflows. So, one of the issues that most people have when they are, scheduling, most businesses actually, they have issues with scheduling, and the issues are because probably they don't know how to schedule well, or maybe they know how to schedule, but then the caregivers or the other staff in the offices have issues, and so it brings a lot of commotion in the office, for things. So today we're going to start with discussing some few points, and I'm just going to give you ideas so you can see how that it best works for you. So at the end of the day, you are the business owner, so you make decisions for how your business will be run. But you need, efficiency is very key. Okay, efficiency is very key, and there's nothing wrong with saying that you do not know what to do and you need someone to help you, even if it's a short term or a long term. It just depends with how your business is running. So one of the things is understanding the patient flow and common bottlenecks. So I'm going to start with the problems, right? Before we get on how to deal with the patient flow. So one of the bottlenecks for scheduling is normally the number of staff available. That could be a very big bottleneck because it can slow down the process of how things work, depending on what kind of business you have. So if you have like a clinic, definitely that's slowing things down very, very much. But if you have something like an agency, that's going to really inconvenience you and inconvenience the people that are working their schedules properly, and then having to distribute them. So in the facility, for example, you make sure that you have enough staff in the office, because you need staff who are going to be there at the reception, and then you need staff who are going to be there to help you in the back end, like blood pressure taking and all that. Because if the person in the front office is the same person going to the back office doing the work, like the blood pressure help and all that, that can be very, very taxing and very overwhelming for the people. And so those are some of the things that cause turnovers. Okay, so if you're in a home care setting, you try and distribute your patients according to the areas where the CNA or the nurse is. So in some points you find, in some parts you find that some people have a CNA, driving so many miles between the patients, and that one gives people, it's very demoralizing, because sometimes there could be an accident on the way, and then so there's that gap. So, it's hard to schedule somebody on one end of town, and then they have to go to the other end of town without without giving them an incentive. you know Incentives are there are very many kinds of incentives, which we can talk about later, but those are some of the things which cause overload. If someone is going on vacation, that's another thing that can be a bottleneck, because if someone is going on vacation and you're not giving a replacement for this, you're not giving a replacement for the person who is going. So that means that the people that are there working, they're still the same people who are going to work this other schedule. Actually, that's not fair also. It's really overwhelming, because most of the times, yes, they could be getting a bigger check because they're working more hours, but they're more tired. And so that also compromises quality. Okay. So those are the things to really, really observe when you're coming through that. So when it comes to the patient flow, I think the one thing that has been a win for my agency is having like a procedure, from the time the client is calling to the end of that call, to assessments, assessments, to scheduling, until the end when the client is live. It is very important to have that kind of a workflow, that this person is going to call my office. When they call my office, they'll be directed to the intake team, or the intake team, depending on how you're calling it in your organization. For us, it's the intake team. The intake team has their own log, where they log in. There's some questions where you ask the client so that you can know how to best serve this client, right? So the intake team also, instead of keeping on transferring that client to so many people, the intake team should be able to answer basic questions. Now, from there, once the basic questions are answered, if the client, would like to continue that conversation and go further, if you have someone who is designated for that person, for that kind of a setting, depending on your settings, then you can transfer them and give them, and then this intake person will give all the information they collected to the care coordinator, for example, and the care coordinator does not have to keep repeating the same thing. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that it's very, very important to have like a workflow which is the standard operating procedure for your business, and it can be followed by anyone. So for example, if maybe your staff is out and I am coming in to support you to make sure that your business is running as if everything was normal, I should just be able to look at that intake form and be able to just go ahead and work on it, and be able to intake your patients as needed. Okay, so those are some of the things to look at and some of the things to consider. So a patient workflow should be very simple, very direct, and should be known by more than 2 to 3 people in the office. It should not be a one-man show. It's only just one person who knows that workflow. It should be at least 2 to 3 people who know what to do, and then when they know what to do, anyone can be able to assist. When the phone rings, anyone can be able to assist, and there's no problem with that. I have seen in some places, some people decide to use the receptionist to do the basic, the person that picks the call, or if it's a virtual assistant or an actual receptionist in a facility, or a virtual assistant, because some agencies like Homecare and Home Health may use virtual assistants sometimes. So, everyone has the basic idea of how to go about that conversation. So that's a tip I'm giving you. If you do not know, if you do not have a patient workflow from start to finish, either for your clinic or for your agency, it's very important to just sit down and create one. And also remember, do not overcomplicate things. Okay, do not overcomplicate things. Just the use simple language and just simple format. As long as you're following just a simple format, it should be fine. Anyone can be able to assist you. So you map out the journey for that patient from the time they call to the time they are your client. Because even after they're your client, there's another journey they go through. If it's the recertification, reassessments, if you're going to review the individualized care plan, sometimes it needs review, especially if you're a home care. I would highly suggest that when a patient goes to the hospital and they come back home, even if you're a home care, go in for a supervisory visit and do a reassessment. So what I'm talking about today is just intake time, from the time they call you to the time they're your actual client. Okay, even for a facility, from the time they call you to the time they're coming in to see the physician or the specialist. So you should have that mapped out very clear, have 2 to 3 people at least who know that workflow. And that workflow, you can also save it as a PDF and maybe put it, if you have somewhere that, if you have a folder that can be used as a SharePoint, where everybody can just access it and just know what to do step by step, that is going to be fantastic. All right. So the second thing is, if you're in a facility, there are things you can do to reduce wait times. For example, you can have, when people call in to do their booking for the visits, you can have them complete. You can send them a link, have them complete a form. That reduces wait time, because when they come in, they are coming in and they already have done their pre-booking, and so they're just maybe waiting for 5 minutes for the doctor to settle in, get to read their chart, and be able to see them. In home care, that applies too. When you're if you're a home visiting physician, nurse practitioner, if you're in a home care or home health, that applies too, because the wait time determines how this deal is going to close. So if you're able to do same day assessments, for example, that can be very perfect. So a client calls, they do the intake, it's transferred to the care manager, or depending on how you call the person that does the assessments, right? It could be a social worker, it could be a nurse that does that for you, or a care manager. It doesn't matter. From the time the person is calling to the time they hang up the phone, the wait time could be very critical, because it's either you lock in that client, or the client goes somewhere else, or they start Googling to find other places. So it's very critical, that time you're giving them to wait. If you tell them, we will do the assessment the next business day after the call, do the assessment the next business day. And if you don't have someone to do that assessment the next business day, definitely go on and call them, let them know what is going on. However, I always suggest have a backup person. Okay, in the instant of home care, for example, if you send a care manager and they're not able to go, if you're the administrator, jump in and go, scrub up and go. Even for home health, that's why you have the DON. If you send an RN and the RN is not able to go, then you go, you take over. Yeah. So those are some of the things that you can do. Then another thing to have seamless tools is like having a scheduling system that has like a workflow kind of a thing. So if you have a system that has the workflow that comes in, the clients come in, they do their thing, and then after they have their call, then it moves on to the next person. So it's just in the system, and so there's no a lot of paperwork going on. Okay, so those are some of the tips that you can do to reduce your overload for the patients, I mean, for the employees in the office or even in the field, also to reduce wait times, okay, and also to make the coordination seamless. You can have a system like an actual EMR that helps you move from step to step. So the last thing I would probably like to mention is, as an online business manager, there are things that I normally help people figure out. And some of the things are like systems. So if you are having issues with creating these systems, let me know. Just drop the word systems. If you're watching on Facebook, drop the word systems. If you're right here on this channel, you can just look at the link that I posted there and just put in your interest there, and I will get back to you, and we can see how we can do from there. So some of the things we can do is create a workflow for you. We create systems like for scheduling systems for you, and help you see which integrations and which CRMs can help you, because sometimes you may just need a CRM that will capture information and start the workflow. Okay, so if you have anything, please get back to me. Today was more educational on a few things that you can do to streamline your patient-centered workflow. And so if you have any questions, just drop them there. I'm going to answer as much as I can. I don't see any questions right now during the live session, but if I see a question after, I will answer. Again, my name is Betty, and I'm so glad that you're here today, and feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications, and we'll see you again for another informational session next Wednesday. However, on Saturday, I'll be coming live and talking about something different that is more faith-based. Okay, thank you so much and have a great day.